Welcome back to the Arise interview. I'm Charles Anyegolo. Now, the loss of trust in government and its institutions. It's part of a wider cultural story that's been playing out in Nigeria for more than a decade, from the northeast to the Niger Delta, the southeast to the Middle Belt, and now the ENDSARS protest movement. It's the story of the increase or the incline of disobedience. For many, this has become something to celebrate, a recognition of the constitutional dignity of the ordinary person and the primacy of personal sovereignty. For others, it's created a moral problem, suggesting that Nigerians are becoming more self-absorbed and selfish, something they say will eventually tear society apart. But still, many Nigerians are applauding the civil disobedience of the youth of this country, who joined the ENDSARS protests in the ultimate act of positive rebellion. After all, they say, while individual disobedience can be harmful, mass disobedience can change the world. But can it in a country such as Nigeria? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now via Cisco WebEx from London by the lawyer Otumba Bankole Dele Balogun, who is former federal commissioner at the Nigerian Public Complaints Commission and was the PDP 2015 and 2019 National Assembly candidate in the Akoko Edo federal constituency. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. How have you been able to process what has taken place in Nigeria over the past few weeks?
First of all, good afternoon, Charles. And I hope you're doing well and keeping safe.
I am doing well and keeping safe, but let's get on with the interview if you don't mind.
Excellent. That's fine. I mean, the question is how has one been able to process what has happened in the last week or so? Sadly, it had to come to a situation such as a peaceful demonstration to cause the Nigerian institutions and leadership to actually reason. In this case, they reasoned very poorly, which ended in bad management, which ended in the death of innocent people. And so it worries one, really, as to what direction this country is going when a country loaded with intelligent, brilliant, capable people, noted worldwide, is not able to manage peaceful demonstrations. It's very disturbing, very worrying.
And how much have those events that happened in the last few weeks cemented and consolidated the anger and the dissatisfaction and the disappointments that many Nigerians feel about their country and about those charged with governance in Nigeria?
Well, see, the point is Nigerians are very hopeful people. Nigerians are very tolerant people to a point that it appears that Nigerians are being taken advantage of by successive governments. We have a situation over several years of very bad government, of people who are not capable of managing their own local unions, running affairs of state, and have run it absolutely dreadfully. And so we have now reached a stage where, bright, capable young people who haven't had the opportunity to fully express themselves are coming out to express themselves, and they're being sadly silenced in this manner. Now, that is not the way to create, a society that would desire such as Nigeria. Nigeria is a country in a bit of a hurry. We're in the 21st century, but our facilities, our institutions, our governments, they are the 13th century, and we can't continue this way.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, because you are a reasonably young person, never mind the white beard and sort of the bald head. As a lawyer in England, as a politician who came from the UK and tried and failed to break into the world of Nigerian politics, and as I said, as a relatively young Nigerian, how much did your personal experience with Nigerian politics and your inability to break through that ceiling bring home to you the frustration that young people are feeling in this country?
Well, first and foremost, I wouldn't say I haven't broken through the ceiling. I mean, I was appointed a federal commissioner in the Jonathan era in the Public Complaints Commission. I mean, that was a position akin to being a minister of state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, one. And I was PDP candidate in the House of Reps elections in 2015 and 2019, elections that were reputed to have been won by me, but the Nigerian factor came in. But that's another matter. So it's not a question of not breaking through. But to answer the question, of the frustration of Nigerian youths, yes, there is an absolute frustration on the part of people who have a 21st century thinking, who are technologically savvy, who are brilliant people in their chosen spheres all over the world, very passionate about their country, and the feel that this incessant attempt by old school, if you like, old school politicians, old politicians who have absolutely nothing to offer the polity, continue to run the country aground and makes life absolutely improbable for them. So it's really very difficult. It's not encouraging. There are many people who want to come back home to salvage the country, but the powers that be make it absolutely difficult, and it's not good for our politics. In France, you have a 40-something-year-old president. When Obama became president of the United States, he was in his 40s. So you see, we need to change our thinking. We need to change our thinking in the 21st century.
Well, absolutely. I think a lot of the young people out there would certainly agree with you. I don't know whether the gerontocracy would buy into it, though. But despite everything that's happened in Nigeria, is there some inspiration that you can draw from the events of the last few weeks that gives you hope about the future of this country?
Well, I have absolute hope in the youth of Nigeria. The youth of Nigeria have always been the hope of Nigeria. Unfortunately, the president of the Federal Republic missed a fantastic opportunity to set himself up as a nationalist and as a leader who for once will deal with the cancer that is afflicting the country. And when I talk about the cancer, I'm looking at things like the structure of the country. I'm looking at, being able to be bold enough and say, right, okay, we hear what is happening. This is an opportunity to establish and create a welfareist Nigerian state where every Nigerian is carried along. A Nigeria where massive, infrastructural developments will be put in place. For example, if you take railway, for example, if you have an integrated, pan-Nigerian railway system, that would deal with the issues of unemployment. Okay, if you're looking at a welfare state, look at the palliative situation. It's become an absolute, bedlam, absolute chaos. So it was a lost opportunity. But having said that, I'm still hopeful that the Nigerian youths will not relent in this effort to bring about a new Nigeria. You see, power is never ever given. It is taken. And thank goodness we have history on our side. There's so much history. There's a Roman Empire and there's recent history, to show that we have a choice. We have a choice. I think it was JFK who said, if you don't make peaceful change possible, making violent change possible is always on the cards. So I hope the leadership of Nigeria can sit back, look at the situation, stop casting aspersions, stop chasing shadows, stop being funny characters, poking about with small cameras, finding evidences around there. Let's look at the Nigerian problem. Let's look at the Nigerian state. Let's look at the Nigerian struggle.
Okay. Dele, I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but we're out of time. But Otumba Bankole Dele Balogun is a former federal commissioner at the Nigerian Public Complaints Commission and was the PDP 2015 and 2019 National Assembly candidate in the Akoko Edo federal constituency. That's it for this edition of the Arise interview. Join us again tomorrow from me and the entire team here in Abuja and London. Bye-bye, and thank you for watching.